The cartoons of the 2000s didn't just look different, they felt different. And that feeling wasn't nostalgia talking. It was the result of a very specific moment in time when creativity, limitations, and culture collided. In the early 2000s, cartoons were created in a world without social media pressure, streaming algorithms, or instant global feedback. Studios weren't chasing viral clips or trending sounds. They were chasing strong ideas that could survive week after week on television. If a cartoon failed, it disappeared. If it worked, it earned loyalty the hard way. One major difference was risk. Writers had more freedom to be weird, uncomfortable, or emotionally honest. Cartoons tackled loneliness, identity, fear, growing up, and failure, sometimes subtly, sometimes head-on. Shows trusted kids to understand complex emotions without simplifying everything into obvious lessons. Art styles also varied wildly. The 2000s were an experimental era. From exaggerated anatomy to dark color palettes to rough outlines, studios didn't aim for uniform beauty. Each show had a clear identity. You could recognize a cartoon instantly, not by the logo, but by its visual language. Stories mattered more than speed. Episodes were paced slowly compared to today's hyper-edited content. Silence existed. Awkward pauses existed. Scenes were allowed to breathe. This gave emotions weight and made moments memorable instead of disposable. Another factor was absence of constant content. You couldn't binge entire seasons in one night. Waiting a week for the next episode built anticipation. Fan theories formed naturally. Characters lived longer in the imagination because you didn't immediately replace them with the next show. Characters themselves were also different. Many 2000s cartoon protagonists weren't perfect or overly likable. They were flawed, insecure, selfish, or confused, closer to how real people actually grow. Supporting characters often stole the spotlight, not because they were comedic relief, but because they felt real. Music and sound design played a bigger role too. Theme songs were iconic because they had to hook you instantly. Background music didn't just fill space, it shaped mood and tension. Silence wasn't feared. Most importantly, cartoons of the 2000s were made before childhood became heavily monetized by data. They weren't engineered for maximum retention. They were created by artists who believed kids deserved stories with depth, humor, and sometimes darkness. That doesn't mean cartoons today are bad, they're just different. Faster. Safer. Designed for a world that never stops scrolling. The 2000s cartoons stand out because they weren't fighting for attention every second. They assumed you were already watching and focused on telling a story worth remembering. If this took you back, like the video, share it with someone who grew up on 2000s cartoons, and subscribe for more deep dives into culture, history, and ideas we don't talk about enough.